Good evening, and welcome to this edition of the Greater Reading Young Professionals on BCTV. I'm Charmaine Lopes, and the band you just saw is our very own Get a Grip band. We have a great show lined up for you this evening, but first I'd just like to take a few moments to discuss who we are for those who may not be familiar with us. The Greater Reading Young Professionals were founded under the Greater Reading Chamber of Commerce and Industry, with the mission of attracting, engaging, and retaining young professionals and young adults to the Greater Reading area. We have monthly networking events and mixers, including our Third Thursdays events. Actually, our next Third Thursday event will be held March 18th. It's actually going to be a combined event consisting of a private showing at the planetarium and also a Drive After 5 event at the Reading Public Museum. It will be held from 5:30 to 8 p.m. It will be free for members and $10 for non-members. In addition to that, we will also be having our second round of grip bowling. That will be held on March 24th at Heaster's Lane. That's at 801 Heaster Lane from 6 to 8 p.m. Cost for that is $10 for both members and non-members. And the $10 cost will include your shoe rental and as many games as you can get in a 2-hour period. That would be a great opportunity for you to get to know your fellow GRIP members and enjoy yourself after a long day of work. So for more information on the events I just mentioned or any more of our upcoming events or the organization itself, feel free to visit us at www.greaterreadingyp.org. Now, later on in the show, we will have Alan Shirk and Hayden Kradoff on to discuss the independent film industry here in Berks County. But first, I would like to introduce Amanda Kelly, or I'm sorry. Amanda. It was. That was a Freudian slip. That's an inside joke. But Amanda Dietrich and Kristen Kelly, affectionately known as Amanda Kelly to those who know and love them. So thank you, ladies, for joining me this evening. Now, in addition to the two of these ladies being board members, they are also the co-chairs of our GiGi committee. So, ladies, for those who don't know exactly what GiGi is, please tell us a little bit about what it is.
I hear it's a party. There's something happening on Saturday, but we're not.
Oh, wait. It's the social event of the season.
Grip Gala, which means GiGi, for those of you who are wondering.
We're really excited because this is something that came about 2 years ago, and we're into our third year. And there are a lot of fundraising events that take place in Berks County, and there are really great organizations. And the Greater Reading Young Professionals, we really have kind of set ourselves apart as a different kind of organization because we are all about attracting, engaging, and retaining young professionals here. And in order to do that, we wanted to take a look at all of the things that were really great about Berks County. And 2 years ago, Leslie Simone, Kristen Kelly, a group of people got together and really came up with this idea to let's celebrate what's great about Greater Reading. You know, the food, the social life, the atmosphere of Greater Reading. Let's host it in downtown Reading, and let's raise some money. So from the first year, when funds were raised for security cameras in downtown Reading, and it was hosted at the old Reading Outlet Center, to last year when funds were raised for the Penn Corridor and permanent signage on the Penn Corridor, and funds were raised for that, and it was hosted in the Cherry Street retail spaces of BARDA, to this year, which we're really excited because we have kind of a new initiative for GRIP, and this year our funds are going to Opportunity House.
Now, speaking of this year's event, you mentioned the Opportunity House being the beneficiary. How did you guys choose them to be the beneficiaries of this year's event?
Well, as the event grows, we felt there was a need to kind of find out what really is going on and who does need our funds in the area. So this is the first year that we instituted an RFP process. The Community Advancement Committee, the GRIP Community Advancement Committee, took care of that, put it together, and put it out for the community to then respond to us and let us know what's here and what's going on. And from that Opportunity House, there were, everyone that submitted was an
a worthy cause.
Amazing opportunity, and we would have loved to support them. But we did pick Opportunity House this year, and it's for their 2nd Street Technology and Learning Center.
And we want to bridge the digital divide, and we are looking to the future of Greater Reading. We're looking for people who are going to be, the predecessors of what's going on now, and we are laying the groundwork for them, and we're looking to inner city youth. We want them to have the same opportunities that we do. And as young professionals, we have the ability to generate corporate sponsors like Bell Tower, Reading Electric, Vanity Fair Outlets, Borrego Solar. There's a ton, like Parenti Beard, Rensel Kunz-Lesher, Weidenhammer. We have tons of corporate sponsors. Also, too, in kind, because it's not just about the dollars that are coming, it's about the event. And being able to have a ticketed event, which it's $45 for members, $55 for not yet members, and you can go to greaterreadingyp.org/GiGi for tickets. And there's 50 tickets available. I mean, 400 people are attending this event. We have 50 tickets left. Right. So, we're in a unique circumstance where people want to come out. They want to learn about us. They want to know more about us. And they also want to help Opportunity House. And we're really close to beating, in this current economic state, we are really close to beating the money that we gave last year. And, we're always trying to better Greater Reading. It's our mission. And, we have an amazing committee, an amazing GRIP board, people who have spent hours at the site and, setting this up, going through details, generating revenue through sponsorships or in-kind donations. These are all volunteers, too.
So it really brings out, the best in everyone and everything about this community. I mean, everyone wants to see us succeed, and everyone is involved in their own way. I mean, the businesses, the sponsors, the volunteers, and we're really proud of what we've come up with.
Absolutely.
So I think you like it.
Now, traditionally, the event has been in a raw space. The first year, as you mentioned, it was at the Reading Outlet Center.
Yes, anybody who had ever been at Calvin Klein or Liz Claiborne knew where she was.
Yeah. And last year, it was at the Barter Transportation Center. So now, where did the idea for the raw space theme come about?
Well, I think that people need to understand that there are great things that are occurring in Reading, and what we wanted to showcase was if you're coming from an outside community coming into Reading, there's office space available. There is space, whether you need to knock down the building and, recreate a different building, there's properties available, but there is a lot of growth potential. So we really focused on, look at this raw space, look at this empty space, whether it's new, commercial, old, office space, and look what it can be. It's about potential. It's about growth. It's about where we're going in the future.
I think it's getting into those places in the city where you might not think to go.
Right.
To draw attention there.
So this year we're very fortunate, and I have to thank John Weidenhammer, from Weidenhammer Systems, who is not only a sponsor, but he hooked us up with NAI Keystone, and Brian Cole at NAI Keystone took us through on our dream walkthrough, and Greater Berks Development Fund and Mr. Wayne White have been absolutely amazing, and they see the potential of our organization, and they want to help us grow, so they have really helped us through this process.
Oh, that's great. Now, for anyone who may not have attended one of the past events, what can they expect this year in attendance at the GiGi event?
Well, it's on the 4th floor of the Gateway building. I don't know if we have some pictures of the raw space. I don't know if you want to go to that, but here you go. So we build it, like we said, from the ground up. So you can expect to see this, what you're looking at now, completely transformed. You probably won't even realize that you're in that space.
And the thing that's really great is we bring a team of people in, volunteers, and then we work with David Reppert, Wishes by Boscovs, and Patty Belsterling, Arts and Flowers, and they help us transform the space into something that is it's like an upscale, chic, urban area where you're going out for a night in the town.
And you're in Reading, and you don't have to leave, which is what we
You don't have to go to Philly. You don't have to go to New York. You can
Right.
stay right here. And we have fantastic things that are happening this year. We have great lounges. Unique Pretzel Bakery will offer 8 different flavors of pretzels. Sweet Streets is bringing 600 cupcakes. I mean, can you imagine? We're really fortunate. This year we have Dylan's Candy Bar. Dylan's Candy Bar is actually based in metropolitan areas. It's Ralph Lauren's daughter, and they are actually distributed out of Berks County. It's like a well-known secret that they wanted to keep a secret, which I just told, but it's okay. So they're going to be there and having a candy bar. We're also going to have Bell Tower. I have to tell you, it's people like Carolyn Helms and the Bell Tower that every year they come back and they support support Greater Reading Young Professionals by having their employees be members, by being sponsors of this event. You can actually stop by the Bell Tower Lounge and get a fluff and a powder, you know, get your hair and makeup done, get your lips touched up, and you can go out and enjoy the party the entire night long. So we're really excited to have them. We have Berks County Living Magazine back for another year, and they are absolutely, they're another one of those sponsors that no matter what we do, they're willing to participate because they see the growth potential and the opportunity in Berks County. So all of these people have jumped on board, and, you know, we're really fortunate. At the end of the day, we're going to raise over $15,000 for Opportunity House in their Second Street Learning and Technology Center.
And that's essentially what it's all about.
And that's what it's all about.
So and I have to come and, like, eat good food,
exactly,
and good drinks, and there'll be music. And
if we sell those last 50 tickets for $45 for members and $55 for not yet members, we're going to be able to give them over $19,000. So, you know, we're encouraging people to attend. I mean, like, it's the social event of the season. You want to be there. You want to see what's happening. You want to savor, sip, socialize. There's a lot of things to do. There's, you know, beer, wine, food included. One of our biggest vendors that we have there is Savor by Sovereign Management Group, and they're the ones who do the Sovereign Center and Sovereign Performing Arts Center. They have come together. They're doing a hot dog bar, a wings bar, so we're really excited. We have amazing people that are involved.
Wonderful. Well, just to wrap up, when and where is the event, and how can people get tickets?
The event is this Saturday. March
right around
6th,
the corner.
Right up the street
3 days away.
At the Gateway Building. All of the details for the event, all of the sponsors, and your tickets are all on our website at www.greaterreadingyp.org. Everything you need to know is there. $45 for members, $55 for not yet members, and you will have an opportunity this year to be introduced to our membership committee, and we'll have a lounge going on. So if you're not a member yet, you're welcome to find out more about GRIP while you're there.
It's a great way to introduce the community to GRIP. So,
well, thank you, ladies, for joining me. And for those of you who don't know, these ladies have been hard at work for the past several months, meeting with different organizations and business leaders in the community to make this event happen. So I want to thank you for your hard work, and I look forward to seeing you guys on Saturday.
We're excited to see you too.
We're very excited.
Exactly. What are you wearing?
All right, and now we're going to cut to a quick break and a word from BCTV.
You're watching Greater Reading Young Professionals Emerge on bctv.org. Be informed. Be involved. Be a member. For membership information, go to www.bctv.org/support/membership. For more information and other related stories, go to www.bctv.org. Program underwriting is a valuable source of revenue for bctv.org and a way for you and your business to get exposure in the community. To learn how you can support a bctv.org program, go to www.bctv.org.
We're back, and joining us now are Alan Shirk and Hayden Kradoff of Hayden Films. So I want to thank you guys for joining us. Now, Alan, I'm going to start with you. Would you mind just giving us just some details into the current state of the independent film industry here in Berks County?
Okay. There are a number of film groups, I think, that have been around for a long time. For example, Albright College, there's a lot of local independent filmmakers. And I think it's pretty amazing when you think about it, how much there is. You wouldn't think of Reading, Pennsylvania, we're not Hollywood, but there are a lot of people who are interested in film. Another great thing is the 4500 digital video competition, which is held every year. And that's where high school students from Berks County compete to produce videos. I think they have to make it in a 48-hour period. And also, one of the other things I think is I did the first Berks Movie Madness Film Festival back in 2006, and what we tried to do is we did a local theme, and I think it was pretty amazing to find out how many resources there were, how many people interested in film, and actually the amount of actors and people who were involved in the cinema, notably people like Michael Constantine, Lisa Eichhorn, Megan Gallagher, and so forth. So, and one other thing that's also important, there's a group of people who are trying to establish a Reading film office, and that would be to try and attract film companies, not necessarily big feature films, but just people to come here and film and use our resources, attractions and so forth. Now, one of the things that happened to me that I found is I discovered this man sitting next to me, Hayden Kradoff, and Hayden, I think I'd seen a newspaper article on him the time that I did the Berks Movie Madness Film Festival, and Hayden, of course, joined in to help us plan that and help dig up some resources, and his contributions were invaluable as far as that first festival. And I think one of the things that hopefully we can address in the future is perhaps we can get these people, we can join our forces together and team up, because I think things are somewhat fragmented now. So hopefully if we all team up, we can have a lot more clout as far as trying to attract filmmakers and trying to help student and independent filmmakers locally and provide some of the resources they need. Hayden himself was an aspiring filmmaker, I think back in the late 1990s. He went to Kutztown University, and of course he believed so much in his dream, and he believed so much in cinema and film that he started his own company. And I'll let Hayden speak about that.
Sure. Yeah, following up with what Alan just said, I was an aspiring filmmaker myself, and I had gone through the due diligence of raising the funding that I needed to do my own short feature, which was going to be my calling card for, you know, the big time. That was my goal. But my idea was a little bit different. I actually ended up going back to Kutztown University, and I wanted to take some theater classes just to get a basic overview of what, you know, actors have to go through in terms of the directing process. And someone in the mission office recognized me and said, well, did you ever consider getting your master's in electronic media? And I wasn't too sure about the program, but had an opportunity to walk around, interview, and I was offered a graduate assistantship at the university. And it gave me the flexibility of bringing this idea that I had for a film concept, even though electronic media was focused more on broadcast television, things of that nature. But my project, they were very interested in it. It actually had a contest, an online contest inside the body of the film, which was going to be a collaborative film project that was going to entail filmmakers from around the world helping me produce this project. And this was around 2002, 2003, pre-Facebook, pre-Twitter, and before YouTube. So my creative side was very happy that the university supported my concept. My thesis advisor supported it. However, the business side of me, with having a finance degree, wanted to present it to some small business development people at the university as well. And going through that whole process, doing the presentation, going over my business model, I not necessarily knew if I was on the right track based on their constructive criticism about my business model at the time. And what ended up happening is we created an online film festival. So I originally was going to be a filmmaker, shooting my own film, and I decided, well, I know there's talented filmmakers out there that I was going to attract for my project, but if we created an online film festival, take the resources, split it up, offer a $10,000 grand prize to the winning filmmaker. So 2004, we received films from 3 different countries, 2005, 10 different countries, 2006, 33 different countries. But it evolved quicker than that. I mean, after our second year, we ended up having our winning film that was submitted to our festival based on this model, directed by a filmmaker by John Burgess. He was a USC graduate filmmaker. And the person who starred in the short film, the student film, was Clint Howard from the Howard family. His brother's Ron Howard. And he ended up coming to Kutztown University for a 2-day symposium, an educational symposium that we did. where we had the first day was a film showcase of some high-quality content, short films, and his film as well. And then the second day, we had an intense workshop that focused on marketing, the business of filmmaking, and we had local filmmakers and local students from the tri-state area come to that workshop to participate. That also then finally led into evolving our film festival and our technology model to supporting other festivals. In particular, a festival in Los Angeles called Holly Shorts. We had previously had our film festival award ceremony in New York City at the Directors Guild of America Theater for the last 3 years. And now this past year, in August of '09, we went out and sponsored the Holly Shorts Film Festival and took our content out there and made the first step in not only supporting our filmmakers, but also supporting another small and up-and-coming film festival who needed technological resources. Based on that progress, we then, based on just going through the conversations with sponsors and filmmakers alike, we now have just recently developed the Hayden Films Institute, which is a nonprofit, and Alan Shirk is going to be running up the office here in Reading, Pennsylvania, and I'm going to be heading it up in Los Angeles, but I'm going to turn it back over to Alan to discuss what our initiatives are going to be here in Reading, Pennsylvania.
Great.
Thanks, Hayden. We are hoping that the Hayden Films Institute, because it's a nonprofit, will enable us to secure some financing, to get some tax-deductible contributions and so forth. So we hope that people will support us locally, and otherwise we're going to look for grants and so forth. But with the Hayden Films Institute, we can take a much greater focus on education. So the idea for us is we would like to run special programming, and we want to cater to student filmmakers, independent filmmakers, and provide them with resources. And we think that by having offices on both coasts, especially in Los Angeles where the film industry is, it's almost a must to be there because that's where things are. So we'd like to create a base, resources, for example, if somebody wants to come into Reading and shoot a film, we could help them find the crew, maybe equipment and so forth. And hopefully the Hayden Films Institute, as we progress, we can become kind of like a central resource, maybe a place where an independent filmmaker can register or call or whatever. And that as we grow like that, just do what we can to support independent filmmakers across the globe. We're just in the process of getting started. We just got our IRS approval for our 501(c) corporation. So we do have a website, www.haydenfilmsinstitute.org. And we welcome anyone to go there. And that will also lead you to other information about Hayden Films itself. We're going to be assuming a lot of the activities that Hayden Films had done before within the confines of the Institute, because it just makes it easier for us and more accessible and so forth. So the next online film festival will be in 2012, and we're currently accepting entries for that. And again, entry information about how to submit a film is on the website, haydenfilmsinstitute.org. And in 2012, we're going to expand or increase our grand prize to $25,000, which we think is a fairly significant prize, and hopefully will help us attract a lot of great filmmakers from across the globe. And not only are we going to accept submissions, but also we're going to team up with Holly Shorts, and all the submissions to Holly Shorts Film Festival for this year, 2010, and next year, 2011, will also be considered for Hayden Films. So that also gives an additional incentive for filmmakers to be in both things. So we are very excited about the Hayden Films Institute, and I think, as Hayden mentioned, that was kind of like a big step for us, because it'll give us more tools, to do the things that we want to accomplish. And Hayden is always, I think from the start, Hayden recognized the importance of resources for filmmakers. independent and otherwise, and that's what we're trying to do. I don't know if you'd like to add anything to that.
I mean, the other ultimate goal, to follow up on what Alan said, is we also, not only do we want to put resources together, but we want to attract filmmakers to our area. And we feel we can do that by partnering with the other film offices here in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Harrisburg, Pittsburgh, and then also be able to promote the different tax incentives that Pennsylvania offers filmmakers, which many filmmakers do not know about those tax incentives. However, the monies that we do receive through donations, contributions, we're going to create a film fund. And that film fund then we can break up and then support filmmakers, and then those monies can not only be used around the world for different productions, but also attract film projects here in our area and build upon the economic development of Reading.
Great, great. I'm excited to hear about all the great things that you guys are doing. You know, I would imagine, since Reading is not, you know, a Hollywood or an LA, that it would be very difficult for an independent filmmaker or someone trying to get in the business to, you know, break in and get started. So, you know, it's great that they have resources like Hayden Films and, you know, the Institute, which is going to promote, you know, media arts and education in schools and amongst young adults. So, any closing words before we wrap up here?
I think a big thing, and I think this is probably related to the arts in general, is that if we can all network and work together, I mean, it makes things a lot easier. So, and again, there's power in all those organizations. So, for example, Temple, University of Pittsburgh, and Drexel have like strong film schools. So again, those are other resources that are close by, and hopefully we can achieve some great things here.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me. Again, Alan Shirk and Hayden Kradolf of Hayden Films. For more information on the independent film industry and on your film festival, where can they turn?
www.haydenfilms.org.
HaydenFilmsInstitute.org.
HaydenFilmsInstitute.org. Yeah, I got to get used to the new.
And for more information on the Greater Reading Young Professionals, visit us at www.greaterreadingyp.org. Thanks for joining us. Good night.